It's time for the movie rating. Tonight's victim is actress Giffin Scott. Has played in lots of films such as Star Trek Next Generation, Out of Time. Hello.
Hi there. This is exciting. Love your show. I've listened to several other of your different people that you've had on with different films and stuff, and it's really good. Thank you for inviting me.
Always. So, do you have anything that you can't talk about, or is this the project that you can talk about right now?
Oh, Out of Time? Out of Time is just fabulous. I mean, it really is very much, I want to say, science fiction. As opposed to science fiction, it's not like Bang Bang, Cowboys and Indians. It's more flavor of like a Jules Verne, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, or A Journey to the Center of the Earth. I mean, I'm a big science fiction fan as well, and it's just like, I was so excited when I read the script. I was like, oh my God, the amount of research and stuff that was done scientifically in order to make this film. I mean, it took the writer 5 years to get the script together, and it's because of all the detail that is just really important and how it's all tied together with things that actually happened and things that are actually happening. So it's really exciting, I must say.
Well, that's very cool. Where's this taking place in terms of location? Is this like within the States, or are you bouncing from other locations between the United States and outside of the United States?
We'll be filming in Australia, and we're also filming in Japan, and we're going to also be filming in New York. Those are like the main locations for the filming. We start out in 2085, time period and stuff. It has a lot to do with what's happening in the news right now. A lot of things are going to be explained, flying through black holes or anomalies. My character is really fun. She is a scientist. She developed something that was really unusual that created all sorts of stuff that needed to be addressed in research. I get to perform with other artists who are military. It almost has a flavor in style, a little bit like, I want to say, fast-paced with bad guys, somebody who's trying to stop us from what we're doing, almost like a James Bond-ish action film, but with a science fiction part as well. I mean, it's just real different, and that's what I was really excited after I read the script. It was like awesome. To me, it really has everything that I really like, real science fiction. So I'm really excited.
Even though it's reality and unreality, for this type of film, is it actually okay to mix the both within this type of film? And there's a lot of films out there that do the same thing, but is it okay with this type of film?
This film is really based on the way that it was written on a lot of things that have actually occurred. Real locations, real time periods, real things that have happened. And for various reasons, you can't change the time continuum, can't kill anybody. I mean, you could die yourself. But you're going into different time zones. It's not a time machine. Pretty much traveling through black holes. That concept, that kind of idea. And it's like getting something done. There's a mission. This isn't just arbitrarily doing this or that. I mean, there's an actual mission of things that need to be taken care of. It is very different, and it is really exciting. And it does have some really ironic humor and stuff to it as well. It is a great experience to go through this. I mean, this is the first time for me doing I did leading roles in a lot of theater, and I've done supporting roles and other things as an actor. But, I mean, this is like the biggest thing for me, and I certainly deserve it, because I've done a lot of different alien characters and done science fiction for years. And the fact that I'm not 22, but I'm a seasoned scientist, and it's wonderful. I get to play something that kind of encompasses everything that I've ever done before into my character now. It's like the reward. It's like the icing on the cake for working so hard for so many years. It's really great.
And having to come back home to what you're used to within this genre that you're most happy at, when other actors are straying to other genres, and even though they're more known for that main genre between science fiction, or whether it's horror, fantasy, and so forth, do you think it's best for them to stray away from their more comfortable area and then coming back later to be more refreshed and actually almost have a reality check to get back into what they used to really get into?
It encompasses for me two of my passions, which is, comedy and timing and stuff, and also, serious aspects of an adventure film. So for me, it's like all the different things that I love and different genres that I love, all kind of tied up in one nice big package. And so, yes, going back into science fiction stuff is wonderful because I love the costumes. I like creating the different characters, and I love the idea of all these different time periods that I get to perform in with all these different things and all the different situations that take place. That's just exciting because it's like you're in a different, as an actor, you get to be in all these different times and different things doing different things, and it's all having to get something done quickly, so everything has to be fast paced. There's an awful lot to it that makes it real appealing to me. It's not just straight being an alien or whatever, because that's not what this is about.
Now, performing in so many other films, do you think an actor's level of recognition should be acknowledged a specific level in order to stay with, so to speak, stay in the limelight without being in the limelight, so to speak?
I don't know. I think it's all individual, what you want to do. I mean, I'm just doing this because it's like, I love the script, and it looks like it's really great fun. The writer's amazing. I can't speak for other actors on their decision-making process. I was gone for a long time, family situations, and my mother, and all sorts of stuff. And it was like, now it's time for me to, get back, and the fact that I get to kind of slip on a pair of slippers that feels really comfortable for me, but it's like super slippers, being able to move and go into different places. This is just a dream come true for me, as far as me as an artist, to be able to utilize so many parts of myself as an actor. It was so wonderful for me, and how much I appreciate it at being older and not being 22 years old. I mean, the appreciation factor of it is like I get to use everything I've learned for years and years into the character that I'm going to be playing. It's just really exciting in that way.
It's interesting though when there are actors that when age comes into place in reality and having to perform all these other tasks and roles, but as the roles keep going and as you get older, either the companies start limiting you as an actor of the roles that you play. Do you think that maybe this is a little bit too discriminating in some aspects, even though there's a lot of older actors out there that can nail it despite of how many films they've done over the years?
I think that there's wonderful roles and things like that women my age absolutely should be doing. And it's sort of like if somebody was much younger, it just wouldn't work. It's not just a single cast. There's so many people and so many different situations and different time periods. It really gives everybody a chance.
Now, genres like this, like sci-fi and fantasy and so forth, do you think these types of genres should be pushed a little bit harder and forward to other mediums in order to gain better popularity?
Not necessarily. I think that part of the problem has been is that we have certain, Star Wars, Star Trek kind of thing, and a certain style and stuff. And, years ago, we had time travel films and, television series and stuff like that. Sort of like going back to the roots of where we stopped sometimes in the 50s and 60s, and we didn't explore far enough in those areas. And that's happening now. I think more people are going into other genres instead of just doing the next and then the next built on one thing. There has to be expansion because science itself is changing so rapidly with the new things that they're finding out. And basically, it's a way of entertaining and also getting people interested in what's happening in the science community. I minored in geology, and I've always been interested in science and also science fiction, besides being an actor. This is something that I've been involved with my entire life. A personal interest is the science aspect. For me, is really exciting that we're dealing with all this stuff.
In terms of today's filmmaking, do you think diversity is kind of on the fence to appeal even to the outside audiences?
I don't know. I really don't know. Everything has its own flavor and style, and certainly in our film, they can be any age. Anybody can watch this film from being a little kid to being a person in their 90s or whatever. It just appeals as an adventure of the highest order of classic science fiction. Sort of like when you're a kid reading Alice in Wonderland. That's a classic. And I almost feel like what we're doing is bringing us back to basics as opposed to regurgitating more of some of the stuff that we've all seen and love. It's time for something different. And this happens to fill in that gap that we need to move on with some different stuff. That's all.
Yeah, it's always a different style, but usually the same thing, but in a slightly different way. But at the same time, it's good and bad on its own because, sure, it's like a staple. We're used to it, we're familiar with it, they stick with it, but they just kind of tweak it a little bit. But to me, I like to see something completely different within that genre.
Me too, yeah. That's what's really exciting here. All I can say is I'm just so grateful to be part of this project and be able to help bring this story. I'm only one part of it. There's going to be an entire cast and crew of people making this film. Just so beautifully done, and it's got so much insight and so much heart to it. It really is going to be just an amazing film. I really believe that that's the case.
Well, once this film becomes more recognizable through other platforms and so forth, do you think with films releasing through online media platforms, if that company stays in that medium too long, that there's a possibility that project could actually fail if they stick around long enough in that area?
It depends what you're doing. I mean, we already have a second sequel almost finished. And because we can be at different times and different places, different things during important points in history, let's put it this way, that just leaves the door wide open. To answer your question, I think that if it's done correctly and it has the right basics, that it can be expounded upon and remain interesting and different each time.
But unfortunately, some of these projects have become pretty popular, and then they just end within, let's say, the second or third season if it's a TV show or if it's an actual series of some kind. And if it's like one episode and then it gets canceled the next day, even if it's got positive reviews. I understand they want to get the best out of the best, but sometimes in a way you're kind of overdo it yourself, because if you got a good project, let it sit there for a little bit and see what happens within a couple months, and if it goes crap, then take it off. But no,
well, the thing is, that's why this is not a series. This is a feature film. This is a big budget feature film for a reason, because there has to be creative control over the project itself and the ability to be able to make something this an epic story. Can't be tied by the people not wanting to watch it. I mean, it's better just to blow it out and make it a big feature film. That's all. Some things work breaking it down into subplots and a series every week or whatever. This is not one of those scripts. This is not one of those stories. This is something a lot different, and it really wouldn't work on an episodic show or something like that. So we're talking apples and oranges here. It's a completely different thing, I think.
Do you think this will be easier to promote out there, a lot easier than some other films like that are pretty much trying hard to get out there? But with this film, having to promote it through other areas, through streaming or whatever, trailers and so forth, do you think it's a lot easier to get this out there than anything else?
I do believe that, because it appeals to across the board age group. It also appeals to many different countries and places all over. I mean, it's not so into one particular thing. It's just its own thing. What can I tell you? It's its own thing, and it's real different. And I have high hopes that everything's going to work out really well, because I think it's a great story, and it's really well done. I just remember Alfred Hitchcock said there's only 3 things that you need to make an excellent film: a great script, and a great script. And I feel that we have a great script. That's all.
It better be a great script. That's all I can say.
Exactly. I have great hopes for it, and I feel really good about it, and I'm going to do my best when I'm working on it to do the best job I possibly can to play my character exactly as what the director sees and the producers. And, it's just going to be such a joy. It really is to be able to be in these different times and be able to play my character. I'm just really thrilled about it. There's a lot of interest. You throw the spaghetti against the wall and say, let's just go big or go home, and see what happens.
Yeah, that'll do it, man. Yeah. Go ahead and plug in any websites regarding to this project or any other past project that we can check out right now.
Well, I mean, somebody can go to Facebook and check me out, and I have links at D. Giffin Scott, and then I have links there to other things, my MTV and other things that I've got going on, and they can check everything out. Right now, it's just it's in a phase where it's just like really early promotion. There's some bits and pieces of stuff that has been filmed for pre-production purposes. You get a flavor of what's happening. But as far as the next step goes, this is just really just putting it out there that we're doing this. This is not the, big bang part of it. This is just the real early phase of getting ourselves out there, and so that people kind of get an idea that something's happening.
Very cool indeed. And there you have it, everybody. That is actress D. Giffin Scott.
Thank you so much.